Now let's start with the project management process groups. Now, as I told you before, in the whole PMP framework, there are 47 processes. Right? 47 processes are grouped into 5 process groups.
Okay.
And these process groups are initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing process group. Now let's start with initiating process group first. Now, what do we do in initiating process group? Now, in initiating process group, we do initial activities. Now, example of initial activities are, for example, we come out with a document called as project charter, and we identify initial stakeholders. Now, what is project charter? A project charter is a document that defines the objectives of the project, right? It is a document that defines the success criteria of the project, the key performance indicators related to the success criteria. The project charter talks about high-level requirement or scope of the project. Project charter also talks about a milestone plan, a very high-level plan, right? A project charter is a formal document that authorizes the project and give authority to project manager to work on the project. So formal authority is given to the project manager through project charter, right? And it is a document that authorizes the project. It also talks about major risk related to the project. When I talk about major risk, those risks that can make the project fail. For an example of a major risk may be, for example, if a project is delayed by a certain point, our competitor might launch its product before us, and the whole purpose will be defeated, right? So the key document which is prepared during initiating process group is project charter and a stakeholder register. Now, once the project charter is authorized, then only you are allowed to formally start the project.
And vision of the project also written into the project charter?
Yes. See, project charter defines the project, right? It gives you an agreed position from which project can be started, right? In fact, it can act as a foundation for planning, right? Now, once the charter is authorized, you have got initial stakeholder register, you move into planning process group. Now, when you talk about planning process group, the planning process group consists of various planning processes, right? For example, planning scope, coming out with scope baseline, planning schedule, coming out with schedule baseline, planning cost, coming out with cost baseline, planning quality, planning risk, right? Planning procurement, planning human resource, planning stakeholder engagement, all is done in planning process group, right? When you consolidate the entire, all the planning processes, you get a document called as project management plan. Now, project management plan consists of planning processes related to all the knowledge areas. Apart from this, the project management plan also consists of scope baseline, schedule baseline, and cost baseline. The project management plan will also consist of the methodology to be used for managing the project, the life cycle that will be used to manage the project, any tailoring decisions, how we are going to control the project, how we are going to manage changes, how we are going to manage risk and issues, and how the integrity of baselines will be managed. So it's more like a roadmap for the delivery of the project, right? The basis of delivery will be project management plan. Once the project management plan is approved, you have a live document that will be used to manage the project. The delivery execution will be based on project management plan, not based on charter. Charter is owned by sponsor, whereas project management plan will be owned by project manager, right? Now, based on the project management plan, all the execution will be performed by project manager in executing process group. Now, in the executing process group, we have processes such as creation of deliverables, right? Performing quality assurance, right? Acquiring project team, managing project team, developing project team. If there is a procurement involved, conduct procurement, managing stakeholder engagement, right? Plus some other execution processes. Now, in parallel to executing process group, we will have regular tracking mechanism also working. The regular tracking mechanism, day-to-day control of the project, day-to-day tracking of the project will happen using the processes within monitoring and controlling process group, right? The processes such as control scope, control schedule, control cost, control communication, control procurement, control risk, all will be the part of monitoring and control process group. Finally, we have closing process group. In closing process group, we have two processes: closed project or phase, and if there are procurements, closing procurement, right? So the 5 process groups are initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Now, a very, very important thing, these are process groups. The 47 processes are logically arranged among process groups. Please make it very, very clear, these are not phases. I have seen people who are even PMP certified, they have a misconception, they feel that these are phases. Initiating is a process group, not a phase. Planning is a process group, not a phase. Executing is a process group, which is a logical collection of all the executing process. Monitoring and control is a process group. Closing is also a process group. All these are process groups. Now, just to explain you, I have put them in sequential order. In the real-time situation, will they be sequential or overlapping like this? They will be overlapping.
Yes.
Throughout the execution, will you be monitoring and controlling also?
Yes.
Will you monitor and control plan also? In fact, there will be some overlap between initiating, planning and monitoring and control also. Charter is tracked, charter is reviewed. Plan is tracked, plan is reviewed. See, whenever there is a corrective action, what you will do first? The whole philosophy of project management is plan the work, work the plan. Right? Now, I said these are not phases. Then what are phases? See, a project has a total scope to be delivered. The scope can be delivered at a go also, and it can be delivered incrementally also. If you deliver a project at a go, you call it as a single phase project. Most of the predictive and simple projects are delivered at a single shot. For example, when you talk about, projects such as doing a bypass surgery by a surgeon, or a kidney transplant surgery, or a very, very simple small project, they can be delivered in a single shot. Some projects that are huge, for example, if you have to launch a township, and a township, let's say, consists of low-rise, medium-rise and high-rise apartments. In order to mitigate the risk, you should deliver them in phases. For example, the first phase can be launch of low-rise, second can be medium-rise, third can be high-rise. The benefit of this is, at the end of every phase, you can do review against the 6 constraints, come out with a closure report, and apart from review, you can also do retrospection. Based on the retrospection, you can take corrective and preventive action for the successor stage. Are you getting my point or not?
Correct.
Right? So you mitigate the risk. Now, how these phases are related to these process groups? Right?
So these processes.
All the phases may contain all the process groups. Processes from all the process groups.
Correct.
All the phases may contain processes from all the process groups. Is this clear or not? So it's a common misconception. Please don't count initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling and closing as phases. These are process groups where the processes are logically arranged. Perfect.